How does it feel, seeing the students go through the daycare system and now they are graduating to class one?
They actually graduate. Okay, yeah, the KG kids are graduating to year one, but we already have kids in year one who are going to year two. So our first graduation was last year, and my daughter was even part of the graduates. And I must say, listen, it was quite an emotional, event. As for the kids and what they did on stage, it's something that I see every single time we have events because of the kind of hard work that the teachers have put into teaching them. Like I said before, we have kids who are 3 years who read because of the kind of concepts my teachers are using to teach them how to read and all that. So the world is big. Where we're going now, I feel like there's so much these kids can be doing, I want them to think about going to space and visiting Mars and, just think about all these crazy things. Let's not limit ourselves to the things our parents did in school. No, there's so much more out there. I want them to think about owning their own businesses, being entrepreneurs, inventing stuff, coming up with ideas, stuff like that. So for us here, JLM, just like Mama Daycare, has done extremely well. Parents actually convinced us to continue the school, and that's exactly what we're doing.
So what inspired you to set up the Why Yvonne Nelson International School?
The primary school, our parents, oh, our parents. So we had a few parents who kept asking us, so Yvonne, after kindergarten, what's next? And I thought they were joking. I thought it was just, something to make my head feel big and all of that. But no, they actually meant what they were saying. They wanted their kids to stay here. So then we had to register a primary school and make Yvonne Nelson International School happen.
So you were talking about how your daughter went to school and she was not really performing well. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes. So yeah, my daughter started school when she was 1 year, 6 months, and it was actually the care. And like I said in one interview, she'll come home with a bruise, with an insect bite, and you'd expect the school to call you to report before she gets home, but then you, the mother or the parent, would notice before, the school even says anything. So that was like a minus, a red flag. And with the academics too, I wasn't really getting anything from her from school because I believe that for parents, you should see a change in their vocabulary, the things they're saying. They're using please, thank you, mommy. There was none of that happening. So I just knew because I'm such a I watch everything my daughter does. I help her with reading. I print flashcards for her. I'm really into education, so I go a little worried. And I thought to myself, this is something that I can actually do and do well because I'm a very passionate human being.
How was it like, balancing acting, producing, and also being an educational entrepreneur?
It's tough. It's tough, but as a producer, I think producers go through so much hustle. So it's really prepared me for this phase of my life because producing movies and bringing people together is very similar to what I'm doing here. Getting the right teachers, facilitators, getting the right resources, getting the right space. It's similar to production. So when I ventured into education, I'm not saying it was easy, but I am tough, so I'm built for this and I'm very passionate about it because I've invested a lot of money. I also want to make a difference, a change in our educational system. So we're here to stay. We're not going anywhere. We're going to get better and better and better.
You talked about our educational system. What do you think about Ghana's educational system? Are we going forward, backwards, or what can we do to make it better?
We need to do better. I have a video on my phone. I was on my way to Kumasi one time. After I launched my book, and I saw kids who were walking to school, and they had cutlasses. Oh gosh, I need to find this video. They had cutlasses in their hand, and I kept stopping them. I'll stop one and I'll ask, what is the cutlass for? Oh, they weed before they go to the class. I'm like, how? Okay, yeah, I have the video here. said, how are you going to weed before you go to class? You're going to sweat. Mentally, you're not, this is is it a cutlass or a hoe, or how do you call it? A lot of them. I did one. There's a boy. I did two. There's a girl. I did several. We stopped on the road. And how do you allow this in a school? How do parents even think it's okay to give your kid a cutlass to go to school? What if somebody gets angry, goes and grabs a cutlass and hurts their friend? It can happen. They're kids. They don't even know what they're doing sometimes. So I'm like, are we really 2024? Is this happening in our educational system? Does the Ministry of Education even know that this thing is happening? So yeah, we have to do better, really. Yeah, we do.
Since you are talking about we doing better, there have been calls for the review of the free SHS. I'm sure maybe you've heard one or two. Do you agree?
I don't want to get political. I've not been following, so I don't really know much about that topic. But I don't know. I've not been following. I wouldn't know what to say about that.
Sometimes there be videos. Joy News did a documentary whereby there was, the food which was being served to the students was very bad.
Yeah, you're going to get me into trouble, but this is a very political question. I believe that, sometimes when we want to win elections, we promise things that we know that are not conducive or we cannot sustain just because you want votes, and then you come into power and you're being forced and you're squeezing and it's tight and you know that this thing is going to hurt the kids at the end of the day. I believe that's what happened, The promises were just too big. They had to do what they had to do, but now it's hurting the kids, because I believe that kids need nutritional food, to help their brains to stay in class and learn. And I don't think that is happening. Yeah.
So let's talk about your Doomstorm Must Stop vigil. Were you able to achieve the purpose of the vigil?
Achieve the purpose of the vigil. Really, the vigil was to let our leaders know that Ghanaians were unhappy or are unhappy about the Doomsor situation, and we all know that they heard. I mean, who did not hear about the first Doomsor and the second Doomsor Must Stop vigil? So I tweeted even before going that I've not been well. If I even have to walk alone, I would walk alone. So I know my message, cut across and they heard me.
Are you still experiencing Doomsor?
This morning, my doctor friend is here. I think I woke up at 5 o'clock, they put off the light. But it lasted for like just 30 minutes. Yeah, I was like, hey, are they trying to punish me or something? Yeah. Oh, they put off the light this morning. Yeah, yeah.
But, we are in the election season and already there are promises for the creative arts sector. Already Mahama is promising, to establish a film village, special TV channel for the creative arts industry. What do you think about all the promises that they are making for the industry?
Is it just Mahama promising or Baumia?
They are all promising.
They are all promising. Oh, then I just want to let my colleagues in the industry know that story. We've heard and heard. Yeah, look, politicians love to talk, and you can believe them if you like. But for me and for some of us, we would rather concentrate on our businesses and do what we can, for Ghanaians and, creating employment, helping the future generation. As for the promises, I don't even know these promises. I've not even heard,
They engaged some of your colleagues, right? And the things came up. So they told them their problems and they also suggested what they were going to do to make the industry better.
I believe it hasn't been the first time. This is not the first time. Yeah, so story. It's been said so many times. Yeah. But their actions should show, talk is cheap. Yeah. Yes.
Let's come to the movie industry. Your colleague, Beverly Afaglo, said that producers are not using the old faces in the movie industry, in the movies. And she was saying that now the producers are using they're using the new faces and people are are forgetting about the old faces. What do you think about that, since you are also a producer?
I'm sure she has her reasons for saying that. Maybe she's seen a couple of movies that don't have older actors in there. Um, yeah, I think she has a point. She has a point. We don't have to neglect and forget the older generation and what happens to them. You know, their profession is acting, so they also have to continue and still, work. But for me, I've shot 4 movies which are yet to get on streaming platforms, and yeah, there's so many of the old, the legends in there. So many of them. You can even do like a track of all my productions. You'd realize that there's there's always someone. Yeah.
Last question. So it's been a year since you released the I'm Not Yvonne Nelson book. How is the book performing? And we also heard rumors that there was going to be a part 2 of that book. What do you have to say to
You
them?
want a part 2?
Well, people were saying it on social media that they were expecting a part 2.
Let's see. But it's been a wonderful ride. It was something that I was working on for like the longest time. That's what people don't know. I'm sure they thought I just woke up one day and used a week to write the book. But yeah, we all have difficulties in our lives and things that we don't talk to anybody about. And it's been a big therapy for me, releasing the book. And there's so much more, of course, that I would want to share, but let's see what happens.
Have you quit acting?
No, I haven't quit acting. I've just put more energy into this because remember, this is not my only school. This is actually the newest school. We have a early years, the daycare, just like Mama Daycare. So I've been combining here and there, and we've been building this place. It's hard, although it's just the ground floor. This is like just phase 1. But I've been so busy. It's just overshadowed acting and producing, yeah. But I haven't stopped acting, no, not at all.
All the best.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.